What's happening, guys? This is Housecat MMA, and right now I'm going to be going over what happened at UFC Fight Night 275. Carlos Prates versus Jack Della Fuckalana, Jack the Fuckmeister Fuckalana, Jack Della Maddalena. But before I get into all that, if you just take a second to like and subscribe, maybe do a bit of commenting and sharing, that'd be cool as hell. So first up, we got Dom Marfan versus Cody Steele. This is basically a combat jiu-jitsu match. Cody had top position first, and then Marfan did a pretty good job of reversing it. But Cody still, his jiu-jitsu was just so much better, and he was just doing a great job at just kind of keeping him wrapped up. And he got a knee bar toward the end of the first round. Then you got Jonathan McCalla versus Temba Garimbo. Garimbo was doing all right. Jonathan was having a hard time with Garimbo's, like with his quickness a little bit at first, but he got it together there toward, he won the first round and he won the third. Garimbo kind of wallered him most of the second round. But, I was really pulling for Garimbo. I had a feeling that Garimbo was going to show his ass and really put a hurting on Jonathan McAuliffe, but it just didn't happen that way. Garimbo's not that good. Then we got Ben Johnston versus Wesley Schultz. This fight for me was good and bad at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I like the look of Schultz. He reminds me of me if I lost 120 pounds and had dark features. But yeah, like Johnson would kind of like take him down a little bit, and then but it'd really be West kind of taking himself down. And Schultz was kind of getting close with submission attempts the whole fight. Second round start, Schultz drops him with a knee, but he starts going for fucking submissions right off the rip. And then in between the second and third round, his coaches were like, "Hey man, you can knock this guy out on the feet, you motherfucker. Go ahead and go out there and do that." But Schultz did exactly not that and started going to the ground with him. But he didn't listen to a thing his coaches said, but Schultz got the guillotine win. I really enjoyed the individuality that Schultz showed. I'm a fan of Wesley Schultz now. Then you got Colby Thickness versus Vince Morales. Thickenese, almost submitted Morales in the first round. Second round comes, is mostly on the feet. Thickenese gets a slight edge on that, wins that round, but is a close one though. I don't think it'd been ridiculous for the judges to give it to Morales. And then the third round comes, and Morales rocks Thickenese and goes for a submission toward the end, and he got that round, but Thickenese got the decision win. And then we got Jacob Malkoun versus Gerald Meerschaert. Meerschaert wallered Malkoun through the whole first round. Second round starts. Malkoun was just kind of outstriking Meerschaert. I don't think that Meerschaert really knows how to strike. And then third round starts, and same thing, just Malkoun being stronger and more coordinated on the feet. But Meerschaert did almost get a guillotine choke win, and if he did that, that'd been nothing short of spectacular. But yeah, Malkoun got the decision. Then Junior Tafa versus Kevin Christian. Christian was doing a good job doing his, athletic shit, doing his quick shit, kicking Tafa's feet out from under him kind of deal. And, Tafa didn't say it, but he said it with his eyes. He's like, if you kick me in the calf one more goddamn time, I'm going to fucking kill you. And Tafa damn near did just that. He knocked Kevin Christian the hell out. Then you got Cameron Ralston versus Robert Brycek. I had a feeling that Brycek was going to knock Ralston out because he is a bit of a knockout artist, and it looked like he was going to do just that for a very short amount of time. Ralston's going for his takedowns, and then Brycek did a really good job of butt dragging out of one. But once Ralston kind of, started feeling himself in there, he was fucking Brycek up on the feet. He's fucking him up on the ground. He just flat out fucked Brycek up. Then you got Tai Tuivasa versus Louis Sutherland. I thought Tuivasa was going to be some kind of good fighter the other night, but he did not do that. Sutherland just kind of took him down almost whenever he wanted to, because I'm not sure that Tuivasa knows how to grapple. He got the better of it on the feet. He got Tai Tuivasa with a couple of Petersons, which is cool because that was my move back when I wrestled in high school. But yeah, Sutherland got the unanimous decision win. And then you got Shamil Gaziev versus Brando Percocet. Percocet. Brando kind of went out there and was just trying to put away Gaziev in the first round. And if Gaziev didn't have, I didn't know Gaziev had a chin like that. If Gaziev didn't have no kind of chin on him, Percocet would have got it done real quick. But there was a time where Gaziev started tapping Percocet. And I was like, damn, because I called Percocet to win, but I wanted Gaziev to win, but I was doing really bad on my pick, so it's better that Percocet won. But yeah, Perisic got the knockout win in the second round. Then we got Marwin Rahiki versus Ollie Schmid, a battle of two elongated squirrels. You could tell that Rahiki underestimated Schmid, but it worked out for him. Like, he just knew Schmid didn't have shit for him. I mean, when you're 4-2 going into the UFC, I mean, that almost never happens. But Rahiki got it done in the first round via knockout. Then you got Tim Elliott versus Steve Erceg. I felt that Elliott was going to win, even though I felt Erceg was better in every single way. I'm an Elliott guy. He's been fighting very well since his old lady cheated on him on his wedding day. And, that fucks with a man. But goddamn, Elliott's 125 pounds of it. He just don't give a fuck. He's kind of like a crackhead without the crack. But he was doing all right, doing some good movement. He took Erceg down a couple of times, but Erceg was just the better striker and was just getting the upper hand in that. And whenever Elliott would get his takedowns, he really wouldn't do anything with them. Erceg would just get right back up. Then you got Beneil Dariush versus Quaylen Salkild. Dariush was doing all right. He was doing all right. I was like, damn, I might be, because I feel like everybody was calling Salkild to win, except me. I was calling Dariush to win. But I kind of felt in my gut that Salkild was going to win. But yeah, Dariush was going for a takedown for like 2 minutes. And then once they got separated, Salkild was like, all right, this is cool. And knocked him the fuck out. But I don't know what you do with Dariush next. But yeah, Salkild's in the top 15 now. Then you got Jack Della Maddalena versus Carlos Prates. Della Maddalena was doing, pretty okay at first. Prates wasn't fucking him up on the feet off rip. Maddalena got a couple of takedowns, but he couldn't really do much with them. But I'd say like toward the end of the second round, when Prates found his range, it was kind of bad. He was hitting him with fucking elbows like that, and leg kicking him in the head, just kicking him from every which away, and put him away toward the end of the third round. And I think you gotta give Prates the next title shot against Islam Makhachev. I'm sure Makhachev will kind of take it down whenever he feels like it, but Makhachev has never fought a man he's never fought a human praying mantis before. And that's what Prates is, so we'll see what happens there. And, as far as Della Maddalena goes, he's due for an 18-fight win streak. He lost his first 2 fights, and then he won 18 straight, and now he's lost 2 straight again. He might end up 36-4, who knows? But hell yeah, fuck yeah, that's all I have on that. Like I was saying, just make sure you do your subscribing, and I'll catch y'all sons of bitches later.